So I want to weigh in on all of the conversation that's been happening about college football player Travis Hunter and his fiance Leanna. And just an FYI, I'm posting on my second channel again. So if you're interested in seeing non-race related content from me, make sure you check out the new videos and subscribe. The link is in the description box. Now back to the video. So I want to give a shout out to my supporter, Asia. She brought this story to my attention. I was completely out of the loop until she made a comment under my last video. And so I went searching and I saw that Black men were going crazy about Leanna and accusing her of being a gold digger and only wanting Travis for his money and status. Apparently, Travis and Leanna have a couples channel here on YouTube. And in one of their videos, she said when they first met, she put him in the friend zone because he wasn't her type. So that really set Black men off. And they're also accusing her of being jealous of the attention Travis is getting. Because there are some other videos floating around where she's at his games and award ceremonies, and she appears to be upset or unsupportive. And Travis came out defending Leanna, and she also made a video addressing the backlash. And according to her, people are taking the videos out of context and they're misinterpreting her character. And I don't know if that's true or not. I really don't care, to be honest. I don't care whether this woman is a gold digger. And I don't think any Black woman should be attacking her on behalf of Travis because it's not our fight. I'm just making this video to once again call out Black men and the Black community and their double standards. That is why I'm here. Because as my supporter Asia pointed out in her comment, just under a year ago, when Jonathan Owens, who is Simone Biles' husband, went on that podcast saying that Simone pursued him and he wasn't initially into her like that, when Black women responded telling Simone that she was not Jonathan's first choice, when we warned her about his intentions and we told her that he most likely settled for her primarily because of her status, Black men in their desperate pick-me's said that we were bitter and jealous and they were calling us crazy. And now that something similar has happened with Travis Hunter, a successful Black male athlete, they're sounding exactly like we did a year ago. Ladies, this situation proves that we were not crazy at all. Because look at how Black men act when it's one of them being settled for. And in the videos that I watched from Black men, I noticed that they're really mad about Leanna saying that Travis wasn't her type. That is the part everyone is focusing on the most. And to me, that is very significant because whenever Black men settle for Black women who aren't their first choice physically, or settle for Black women who are quote unquote average at best because she's paying half the bills or cooking and cleaning the house, or because she has some other qualities that he likes, Black women are told that they have to accept that and just be grateful that they're being chosen by a Black man. But Black men themselves would never tolerate a woman who they know isn't really attracted to them, but they're only there for the money. Ladies, this goes to show you that you're not wrong or crazy for discarding a man if he says or does something that indicates you're not his type. When or if that ever happens, you need to have the same energy that Black men have for Leanna right now. And this is one thing I have to give Black men credit on. They stay on code when it comes to stuff like this. When that Simone Biles situation happened, Black women were pretty divided with that. You had half of Black women saying, oh, y'all are tripping. Y'all think it's impossible for a Black man to be attracted to a Black woman. And the other half of Black women had some sense and saw it for what it was. But in this case, you have a critical mass of Black men saying the same thing. They are trying their hardest to make sure that this man does not get played by this woman. And I really, really wish that Black women had that kind of code. And especially when a Black man says publicly that a Black woman he's with really wasn't his type. You need to have the same energy that Black men are having right now when it comes to Travis. Because as a woman, your looks generally matter more to men than theirs matter to you. Because let's be real, Leanna did what a lot of women do. She chose a man based on upward mobility, resources, and stability, not physical attraction. And that is the orientation women are supposed to have when choosing men to be with. Now, I do get the sense that Leanna may be having a hard time adjusting to the attention Travis is getting, but she's going to have to get over that if she wants the lifestyle. But personally, I don't get the vibe that Leanna is only with Travis for his money. I do think she loves him, but I don't believe he was initially her type physically. And there are a lot of women in relationships with men who aren't necessarily their physical type because women don't prioritize looks like men do, especially women who are hypergamous. It's not to say that we don't care about looks at all, but we are willing to compromise and deal with a man who's not 100% our type if he has money, resources, or other qualities that we like. Men choose women primarily based on their beauty, and women choose men primarily based on their resources. And I don't think women should apologize for that. It is what it is. Now, ladies, I don't recommend that you tell a man that they aren't your type or announce it on YouTube to the entire world. No man wants to feel like you're only with him for his money. But women choosing a man's money over his looks is just one of those uncomfortable realities that a lot of men don't like. And some men know, but they just don't care. A lot of these average looking men or unattractive men with money, the men know that women wouldn't look twice at them if they didn't have money, and they don't care. Or that woman is good at making them feel like they're genuinely interested. And that may be the case with Travis. Either he doesn't care that he's not her type, or he feels like she's genuinely interested in him. And on one of the videos I watched, Leanna said that Travis moved in with her during his last month of high school. To my understanding, she's a few years older than him. And a lot of Black men are saying that she groomed him. And to me, 3 years isn't that big of an age difference. So I don't know about that. But I'm sure he didn't have a lot of money during that time. So that may be why he's sticking beside her, because he feels like she was there during his come up. And I definitely think she knew that he would eventually be successful. But I don't see the issue, because didn't Dr. Umar just say that snow bunnies get the best Black men because they get them early when they're upwardly mobile? Isn't that what Leanna did? So what is the problem? She didn't do anything different than what all the other non-Black women do. She saw Travis was going places, she played the long game, and now she's cashing in. Do y'all see how these men will use women like Leanna to shame Black women, but then they also get mad at women like Leanna for doing what they told Black women to do, which is find an upwardly mobile Black man like Travis in college and get with them early when we're young? See, ladies, this is why you can't listen to Black men 99% of the time. They don't know what they want women to do. And what Black men want Travis to do is sleep around for a while and have fun since he's young, and they want him to find a better woman. But even if he were to do that, I guarantee that most women he encounters will still want him primarily because of his money and status. There is no escaping that at this point. Now, I do agree that 21 is too young to get married for both men and women, because statistically, young marriages end the quickest. So I do understand the concern, and I understand men telling him to get a prenup and protect his resources, but he is never going to be able to avoid gold diggers and women who date him primarily because of his money and status. That is something that comes with being a high earning man and a professional athlete. It's unavoidable. Now, something else I think is worth mentioning is that Leanna is a product of a Black woman and a Latino man, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And I saw where some Black men were trying to use that as a gotcha moment against Black women who swirl because Leanna is with a Black man who is likely colorist. I don't see swirlers complaining about this. I see mostly Black men and pro-Black women complaining about this, not Black women who date non-Black men. And we're not discussing the colorism aspect because most of us have moved on. We no longer care who colorist Black men are dating. The only women who still care about that are Black women who still want Black men. Once Black women expand their options and get off the pro-Black stuff, colorist Black men aren't even on our radar. And that's why I had no idea about this story until someone brought it to my attention. And we're also not obligated to speak on this as it pertains to interracial dating because we date out and or have mixed race children. And this goes back to what I always say about dark-skinned women not being responsible for the entire mixed race community just because some of us have mixed race children. You ever notice how Black women who swirl are expected to answer for every single interracial couple involving a Black woman and all mixed race people produced by Black women when literally nobody else who dates out has to follow those rules? Black men don't make themselves responsible for all mixed men just because they have mixed sons. Look at how they did Drake. So no, this is not our fight just because Leanna's mother is a Black woman. Sorry, Black men, you're on your own. Travis should have chose better. This don't have nothing to do with swirling Black women. Now, what I will say is that if I had a mixed daughter, I would be concerned about her being involved in Black dysfunction, just like I would if I had a Black daughter. I mean, look at what Leanna's already dealing with right now being with a black man. Now, her oversharing on YouTube is part of what got her here, be clear. But black men in the black community are about to make her marriage a living hell. They are not about to let her live this down. So she got the bag, but at what cost? And I heard that Travis said something about her being so stressed out that she's been drinking more. And this is before the marriage, and this is a young woman. It's too soon to be going through all this. And who knows what she'll be dealing with in the future from Travis. We all know how most of these black male athletes are. Most of them can't stay faithful even to their preferences. So Leanna might be having to deal with infidelity in the future, on top of the scrutiny that she's getting from the community for being hypergamous and just black dysfunction in general. And it would be even worse if she was an unambiguous dark-skinned black woman. So money or not, that does not sound appealing. So the dysfunction is what I would caution my mixed race daughter about the most if I had one. And as far as the colorism, I would just have to accept that she will attract colorist men and boys of all races, not just black. And I know what I just said may be controversial, but I live in reality, and that is just the world we live in. And like I said in a recent video, black women can also produce light-skinned children with a light-skinned black man, and those children will also benefit from colorism. We could also have black children that benefit from featureism and texturism as well. So to me, trying to scare black women out of swirling because they may produce daughters that benefit from the isms is silly, because many black people benefit from those too. Now, obviously, it's not usually to the extent that mixed race people do, or people who are in closer proximity to whiteness. So I'm not saying it's exactly the same, but I just don't believe in dark-skinned women politicizing their dating lives and also narrowing their dating options to only dark-skinned black men with broad features to avoid having kids that benefit from the isms. That's ridiculous to me. It's too limiting in my opinion. And it would drive black women crazy because their dating pool will be so small. I mean, ladies, if you want to do that and it's easy for you to do, that's fine. But I'm not going to encourage that just because I speak about colorism. Personally, and this is just me, but I think that if black women are afraid of having children that benefit from the isms, or afraid that their children will attract colorist, featurist, or texturist men, they shouldn't have children because that's always a possibility. I think that the main concern as a dark-skinned black woman should be to not date a colorist man yourself or a man that is just settling for you, if that is something that you care about. And we all settle to some extent, you guys. Most of us are not going to find every single thing we want in a partner. You may not have every single thing that your man wants in a woman, and he may not have everything that you want in a man. But you shouldn't be far off from his fantasy girl. That is all I'm saying. That, to me, is what dark-skinned women, unambiguous black women should be concerned about more than anything. And to me, that is more realistic than trying to control how your children look or who they date. And I've heard black women say that they'll teach their mixed race daughters not to be colorist or date colorist men, colorist black men specifically. And I think that's fine. I'm not against that, but there are still no guarantees. You can't control your children when they become adults. So if you're a black woman and you feel like you would be deeply triggered by your mixed children dating colorists, you might just not want to have kids until you work through that, because it'll probably happen at some point. I'm just being honest. Like I said a long time ago, pick your poison, because producing black children and producing mixed children both comes with their own set of potential problems. So you just need to pick which set of problems you want to deal with. That's how I look at it. But yeah, swirlers and black women who truly don't have a desire for black men anymore, or never had a desire for black men, they don't have a problem with Leanna being mixed or her being with a black man. And we hypergamous women, we damn sure don't care that she's getting her bag. I just wish that the black women attacking her on the behalf of black men would have set this out, because black men would never do that for a black woman who was with a nigga who said she wasn't his type. They will be defending him and not the woman, like they did with Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles. Y'all look crazy as hell caping for these men. But you know, this is Blackistan. This is the community, so I'm not surprised. Anyway, I am done here. Let me know what you think about this story down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.